My name is Jonathan Goodwin. I'm a veterinary cardiologist, and I'd like you to consider me your veterinary cardiology concierge, here to try to help you with some of the topics that might bother your heart and soul the most in regards to your four-legged family member. You might have three legs, but that's okay. We still love them anyway. So as a veterinary cardiologist, what our job is to focus in on any kind of cardiac and often respiratory disease that could cause your baby to not be as comfortable as they could be. What we're going to try to do with this content is focus in on some of the questions that the general public might have about cardiology in the animal kingdom and ways that we help animals, things to watch out for, things to be concerned about, and things that are just fun. So we'll try to take you through and give you as much information as we can. We want to help get answers to the people that need them the most, the mommies and daddies that love their babies. Personally, I really liked in veterinary school, I really liked the specialties of cardiology and neurology, and I went back and forth, which one would I choose? And I ended up going with cardiology, not because I didn't like neurology, but when I'd work days in cardiology, it never felt like I was working. So you'd go in at 7 in the morning and you finish at 11 p.m. And I was like, oh, day's over. Cool, all right. That made it pretty easy. So it's a lot of fun. For me, I feel very honored and blessed to be part of this small crew of veterinary cardiologists. There are about 430 of us as of January 2025 in veterinary medicine in the United States. And so because there's such a few number of us, it's created these large blocks of space and places that don't have real easy access to a cardiologist. So because of that, I started traveling a little bit, trying to help out in some different places and bring cardiology to some spots that did not have as easy access to cardiology. Right now, I primarily operate out of New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania. We're also seeing cases in Atlanta, Georgia, and Chattanooga, Tennessee. I've been blessed to have a great number of people that help out, and they're excellent. Some of these technicians are ones that I've run across in traveling to different hospitals, and they've had an interest and they've shown an aptitude for cardiology and a real love for people's animals. It's one thing to be a veterinarian, and it's another thing to love what you're doing as a veterinarian. And the same thing can apply to veterinary technicians, and the ones that work with me really love what they're doing, and they love the animals, and we love treating people's babies and making sure everybody stays in a good spot like that. But one of the real big things I want to make sure we can answer questions that people have in a way that can try to bring a little bit of peace to people. One of the things that we've noted, if you remember back in high school, if you liked the sciences at all in high school, it was pretty much biology, chemistry, and physics. With those sciences, typically, one you liked, one you're okay with, and one you really disliked. In veterinary medicine and specialty medicine, it's interesting because typically the big three are cardiology, neurology, and ophthalmology. One you like, one you're okay with, and one you're terrified of. So that being said, there's a lot of people that are uncomfortable with cardiology. And so what I want to do is my best to make it a little easier for people and try to answer some questions to eliminate some of the worries that would be affecting us based on what we don't know. It's far scarier to fight something that you don't know. I always remember that first time seeing Predator, Arnold Schwarzenegger and the crew are out there battling that invisible thing's taking people out. It's terrifying. Then, you finally got to see him, and he was, ugly, and he had dreadlocks and the mouth open like this. But the point was, you knew what he looked like. You're like, okay, maybe if I can grab his dreadlocks, I can knock him out. That all being said, it gives you an idea of when you know and can put a name on what you're actually not comfortable with. That's the first step in becoming comfortable and trying to conquer it. So there's a number of topics that we want to cover for you. Questions that I get a lot of traction on are, what is a heart murmur in itself? What is it? Because people hear, oh my gosh, my animal has a heart murmur. That means he's going to be dead next week. Or, oh, you know, they graded the murmur a 4. What does that mean? How long does he have? So addressing some of those things to help people understand. I get a lot of questions about what breeds get the most cardiac disease versus dogs versus cats. Is their heart disease the same? Is it different? Do you treat them the same? How do you help? Is there heart surgeries that can be done? Is there anything that you can do if the animals do have heart disease? Or is it they're just going to have a heart attack and die no matter what? You know, people get told sometimes that their animal has an enlarged heart. Oh my gosh, an enlarged heart. What does that mean? How this thing is big? What could that mean? There are all these topics and all these concerns that pop up, and we want to try to take them piece by piece and make it a little bit easier so it's just not as scary as it could be when you've got a loved one that's not well. How do we treat heart disease? You know, that's a big one. What causes dogs to cough? Are there different types of cough? Why do they cough? You know, does the cough mean he's in heart failure? What is heart failure? There's topics galore. How do we help them live longer? How do we improve their quality of life? Does diet even matter? Can they eat whatever they want? Or does diet make a huge difference in terms of their survival abilities? These are some of the topics that we want to try to address and make things a little easier for people. How do we prevent heart disease from getting worse? Can you prevent heart disease from getting worse? If my animal has heart disease, can he exercise at all? What can he do? What can't he do? What's good for him? What's bad for him? There's a lot of angst around that, a lot of question around how we can help without doing any harm. So I really appreciate you guys for stopping in and taking time. Hopefully we'll keep good content coming your way. Please hit that like or subscribe button that's somewhere around me in the ethereal space. I don't know where it is, but really appreciate you and can't wait to see you again on the next video.